I don't even know where
Okay.
this is gonna go, but we'll give it a try. All right. So I got this one recording, and I think it's showing live on there. Can
Okay.
you see? Can you see me and yourself on yours?
Yeah, it's very clear. It's perfect
Awesome.
picture.
Awesome. All right. That's what I want because with YouTube, the Zoom live is really grainy. You know, when you do
I've
it through.
noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. 1 second. I'm just trying to get up some questions. That way I
Okay,
can.
let me know. I'm excited. My very first podcast.
Really, is it?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you joined us actually, because it's um what I am say. So I'm going to make a start now. So let's do this. So my name's Farouk, and I'm going to welcome to the show someone that I just recently met. Like we've had a very small interaction, and he happily accepted to come onto the show. His name is Nico, and shall I say your full name? I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
allowed to.
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Okay, so Nico, I want to introduce Nico to the show. I've had a look at some of his videos, and I feel like I think when we spoke last, I felt like your platform should also be on TikTok. So make sure you, you get on there because I think you've got some fantastic work on
Thank you.
YouTube. It's fantastic. I've had a look at it, and your platform will just literally grow if you go on TikTok as well. So I'm just gonna give you that as a piece of advice.
I
So I
did
want
take it seriously. I do plan on it.
awesome. So let's tell me about yourself. Like, how did you start out with this? What inspired you to, like, for instance, whack your head over, like with a glass bottle. Like that kind of stuff happens in movies, and they have fake
Yeah.
glass bottles, but you actually used a real one. Like
Yeah, yeah.
what? So it wasn't even a prop.
No, no.
Wow,
Everything on my channel is all it's very real. I don't
wow.
take the easy way for any of it.
Okay.
That last one hurt. That hurt.
Any
But
concussion or something? Like, did you get a bump out of it or something? Or
so actually the worst injury I sustained from that was after I did it.
yeah.
I thought I had cleaned up all the remaining pieces, but I went to take a seat and a shard of glass went right
Oh,
through my thigh.
oh my word! Wow, that's not good. You
Yeah,
didn't have any pieces in your head left because sometimes you get little pieces, right? Even though you don't know, but you might find some in there. Like next time you were showering, you're like, "What the heck is this?"
no, I just it's hard to see, but on the back of my skull I do have there's a line where hair no longer grows.
Oh my god! So
There's a
that's where
scar.
it happened. So who is your inspiration? When you started out doing this, you must have woke up one day and thought, okay, I want to start doing my own channel. But what was your inspiration? What caused you to do that?
Well, it honestly was more of a slow build kind of thing where growing up, I really struggled in school,
Right.
with academically, but I
Yeah.
was also I was always able to entertain people, and
Yeah.
I was always trying to get people's attention, and
Yeah.
things like that. I was always trying to substitute my lack of education for something, and the
Right.
thing I was found I was good at was entertaining people.
Excellent.
So I always just enjoyed doing it,
Yeah.
and I realized I was around 14 or 15
Hmm.
when I realized that there were people basically doing the same thing that I was doing, but for a living
All
on
right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So uh, when I heard about that, it made sense, like if I can get paid to do this, I might as well. I do it
Yeah. Why
anyways.
not? Yeah.
Might as well make something productive out of it. So I've been planning it since I was about 14. I
All
just
right.
you know, things got in the way, and
Yeah.
one day I just decided to jump off a bridge, and I had my buddy film it, and
Wow. Yeah, I saw
yeah,
bits of that. But like I kind of saw the caption of it and I thought I wanna watch that after I do your interview because I was like, whoa, what was that all about? You know, because
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I grew up watching you know, David Copperfield, Evil
yeah,
Knievel, all these different stuntmen, and obviously, you know, stuntmen in movies, they go through some like crazy stuff, like real
absolutely,
life-threatening situations. Have you ever thought of
absolutely.
doing stuntmen? Have you ever thought of being a stuntman, or is there's good money in that
I
too?
definitely would if there. I would love to be a crash dummy for
Oh.
you know, a movie. I'd love to be the guy actually getting hurt.
Maybe be a crash dummy for Tesla as well. You might get some good money out of it. Hey, who knows? Um, I don't know if they do. I don't know if they use test dummies as humans, though, right? They probably wouldn't. That's the whole point of it.
I would be the
Bring back.
first one. I would sign up for it. Total disclaimer: I'll accept all injuries.
Oh my god. So, like, what you know? I know we talked about some of the challenges that you did, but what would you say was the most challenging, and what is something that you'd like to try out in the future that kind of pushes you to that limit? You know, because I feel like this is only the tip of the iceberg of what you've started out with the videos. I feel like you've got so
Absolutely.
much more. So let's talk about that. What's the work? What's the most challenging thing you've done, and what would you like to do in the future?
Okay, so I think my answer for the most challenging thing I've done on my channel is actually one you probably wouldn't think of,
Hmm.
and I would imagine you didn't even watch. Did you happen to watch the video where I drink a lot of water?
All right. No, I've not watched that. Oh my god. You can
And
get poisoning, can't you, with that? I heard water
you
poisoning.
can
Too much.
yeah, you can get water poisoning from it. I did leave a disclaimer in the video that people shouldn't do it, and it's a
Yeah,
lot
don't
more.
try this at home.
It's dangerous, like as
Yeah.
silly as it sounds. But yeah,
Oh,
that took me. The video that I posted on my channel was my fourth attempt at it because I
oh my God.
tried it 3 times previously and I couldn't do it.
Wow.
It's hard. Chugging water is very hard.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. And even
Um,
I saw something about you staying underwater for a certain amount of time. What was your record there? Was it under a certain amount of minutes? Like, was it 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes? Can't
it's
remember.
not that impressive. It's only I don't have strong lungs. I don't know what it is, but I really can't hold my breath for long.
Wow.
The first time I did it, I lasted about 35 seconds.
Wow.
So I told
That's
myself
so
I need
quick.
to make it a minute. Yeah, I
Yeah.
said I need to make this a minute. I mean, that's
Wow.
so it doesn't sound impressive, but 60 seconds is as long as I've been able to go so far.
That's yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I know I've probably tried it, give or take 20, 25 seconds. I'm back up again. Forget it. So you've done a lot better than me, man. Forget it, you know. And I don't have the best lungs. I mean, I don't smoke. Do you smoke or
I do not.
all right.
I don't
So
know what
I
it
guess
is.
all right. I mean, you seem to be really trying out different things. So what do you think it is like? What would be the most challenging things you would like to try then? What would that be?
So, honestly, a challenge for me would be uh, I have a lot of things I want to do that don't involve bodily harm necessarily,
Okay.
but honestly, a struggle for me is um, attracting people
Right.
using not having to use crazy stunts
Yeah.
and life risking things to gain people's attention. A big
Yeah.
challenge for me honestly would be able to just speak with people and be able to gain an audience that way. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's something I because every video can't be me potentially harming myself,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
so a big challenge that I'd like to overcome soon is moving more into
Yeah.
speaking kind of thing. I have a lot of like comedy sketches I'd like to try.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a
Awesome.
few ideas for I have a not necessarily a TV show, but like a little series I've been writing for a few years now
Okay, awesome.
that I'd need some more resources for, obviously, but
Yeah,
I would say that's my biggest obstacle right now.
yeah. And it is. I mean, I think nowadays, especially, going back to what I was saying about TikTok, it's finding your audience. And trust me, you do have an audience. It's just trying to, get yourself out there. Like I said, using the right keywords, hashtags, and sometimes it's even posting at the right time of day. All these things are really important factors.
Yeah,
And I think, honestly, for me, especially when I started doing videos and stuff like that, um, it was all about consistency. So even, let's say if your idea with this show, that you want to bring forth, a lot of it will come to fruition when even if you add snippets of videos here and there, and you were consistent with that, it had some I guess fluidity about it, and people start to remember that, hey, I know that guy, he's, and you create a brand around it, and
yeah,
that's what majority of the people do. And again, obviously, you don't want to do a lot of like things that are life threatening, of course, because
absolutely.
you want to live. You've got a life, you've got family, you've got to think about that. So
Yeah, I
of
do have a
course,
body
I
to
get
take
where you're
care of.
coming from. We all want some sort of platform where we could be, I guess, um, acknowledged, and felt like, that presence, I guess, with the audience.
Absolutely.
So honestly,
Yeah.
I get you. I understand where you're coming from, straight up. As an influencer, maybe one day, like trying to change people's lives, that kind of thing, having some impact.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do. I have I had a charity idea. It wouldn't be able to happen anytime soon, but
yeah,
it's kind of mixing my extremist style with, you know, some type of productivity towards the world. I want to walk across the United States for charity,
wow, awesome.
but I mean that's a big thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I would need to train for it.
right,
I
right,
would need sponsors and a lot of things. So
yeah,
honestly, that's one of my like
yeah,
biggest things I'd really like to accomplish one day.
wow. I mean, everyone has goals. Like I used to coach people as like a side thing. I used to be a life coach.
Okay.
I always used to tell people that, let's say if you have life goals, whatever they are, first things first, if you haven't already, write them down, and then create like an action plan for each of those things. So like, for instance, you mentioned a couple of things there that are fantastic ideas. You put pen to paper and just think to yourself that, okay, which one's a short-term goal that I can accomplish within the next 3 to 5 years, and then above that, but don't go too much like over 5 years, because sometimes if you think too far ahead, you're not planning with like the present moment. So when
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
set yourself an action plan for each of those, and tell yourself that, um, I want to start that show on a, let's say, a specific month, and just put something out there, even if it was some small content, work on that content. And honestly, that's how I've seen it grow. In order for something to grow, it has to start somewhere, right? Like when
Absolutely.
you're planting
Yeah.
the seed, like comedy and mixing all these different things. You mentioned about the different things that you're doing, and also the charity work. There's a lot of things there. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Absolutely.
and what about time? Let me ask you about time. So, for instance, um, do you struggle with trying to make time for those things? Is that one of your issues? I find that a lot with people as well.
Yeah. It's honestly it's my biggest issue. I think it's a problem a lot of people experience when it comes to ambitions outside of, you know, necessities like
Right.
having a day job and
Right.
things like that and maintaining relationships. I've noticed that I spend a lot of time
Yeah.
like doing work up in my head,
Right.
but I see myself
Yeah.
doing these things and, making these things happen. I come up with very realistic plans,
Yeah.
and just the days go by and I just see them happening. I
Yeah.
don't make them happen. It's
Yeah.
definitely my biggest problem. And I think it's a problem a lot of people face.
It is.
Like,
And that's
the
the thing.
ideas are there. They're
Yeah.
not coming. I'm not making the action to make them happen.
Right. And honestly, it's like I what I say to, anyone, including myself, because again, I'm not perfect. I also have time issues and stuff like that. But what I know, what I do, and obviously everyone works differently. I understand that, is just make small changes here and there, even if you do one thing a day for, let's say, a few days, right? It's better than nothing. You might not,
Yeah.
let's say you might think, okay, well, if I'm going to do some research on a piece, and maybe, might do a video, how, what kind of content do I put in there? And sometimes, you might be putting too much attention to it, and then it becomes like, okay, it's a brainstorm and it goes on and on. But instead, you just like, okay, bam, bam, bam. This is my idea. This is what I want to do with it, and this is where I'm going to put it, and that's it. Just put it out
Just go
there,
for it.
and that's
Yeah.
it. Just it's small, consistent things that you do, they make a big difference. So that would be my advice to you. With that,
Definitely.
if you've got an idea, like I said, put pen to paper. Give yourself like 0 to 6 months. Start within that time, and just say, this is what I'm going to try and accomplish every week, and work on that and master that. Because it's
Yeah.
time, isn't it? Family, you've got
Absolutely.
commitments at home, and you don't want
Yeah.
to, obviously, you don't want to try to have life work balance and then your own things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's finding
I
that
get you, man.
balance. Yeah.
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 So you got to find a balance, but I think it's also your mindset. Honestly, your mindset plays a huge part in it, because
Absolutely.
if you tell yourself, let's say, I was talking about this with one of my friends, and I recently did a podcast with fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. So let's say, if you have a fixed mindset and you say to yourself, okay, I want to try and accomplish this, but I can only go this far. You've got a fixed mindset. But if you tell yourself instead that I want to work on this, and I am going to get there eventually, and I am going to put these in place. So let me ask you about that. How do you think your mindset works? Does it work with you or against you?
So I'd have to say a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think I have a good technique that I started doing at the beginning of 2020.
Okay.
Um, Towards the end of every year,
Right.
I make a list of my 10 things that I want to get done by the end of next year. It's my 10 goals of
Okay.
whatever year it is.
Right.
I make the list, I take a screenshot, and it's
Yeah.
the background of my phone. So like
Okay.
the background of my
Awesome.
phone for the past 2 years has been like my 10 goals for the
Oh,
year.
that's a good
So
idea. That's awesome. Okay.
every time I turn my phone on, I'm reminded of what it is I need to get done.
Right.
And so
Right.
it's a white background. The list is in black, and at the
Yeah.
bottom in bright red, very
Yeah.
big, it says, "Have you made progress today?"
Awesome.
And that's been my problem is I only focus on that some of the time.
Right. Right.
Sometimes you become so used to just turning on your phone,
Yeah.
swiping, and getting to an app. I don't even pay attention to it half the time. Where
Right.
some days, if you asked me, what are the 10 things on those lists, I might not even be able to name all of them. It
Yeah.
just becomes so routine.
Yeah.
So I think I have a good system in place.
Mhm.
I think I just need to get better in the swing of paying attention to that system, because it
Yeah.
could be a very good system.
Right.
It's just
What do
uh,
you think you need to do? What do you think you need to do? What's one of the things that you could do right now that would alter that?
I think a lot of I think slowing down,
Yeah.
uh, getting out of kind of autopilot and just
Right.
thinking about what I'm doing,
Yeah.
because I noticed about a year ago I used Instagram a lot,
Okay.
And I realized that like a lot of the times when I had nothing to do, I would
Mhm.
go straight to Instagram
Yeah.
and I would catch myself doing this and I would be like, what are you going on here for?
Right.
And there was never a reason for it. It was just going on it to go on it, waste time, just
Yeah. Becomes a
scrolling.
distraction, doesn't it? Just
Yeah, it's it's the infinite scroll system that's on
yeah.
every social media platform where you can just keep going and it never ends. So
Yeah.
you have to have the self-control to say, I don't need to do this right now. There's
Right.
something I could be doing that's productive. I
Yeah.
will never gain anything out of this. So I deleted my Instagram.
Right.
I
Right.
just I realized that it was the app I was using the most and the app I was getting absolutely nothing out of but waste of
Right.
time. So
Yeah.
I think taking the time to ask yourself what what the motive behind doing things are, you'll realize a lot of the stuff you do is kind of pointless.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, what are you turning the TV on for? I
Yeah.
mean, is there something you're gonna like learn from watching TV, or are you just mindlessly just passing time?
Yeah.
So I think a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
time finding the motives behind your actions, and not that every single thing you do needs to have a purpose. You can
I know.
definitely have just time to
Yeah.
kill, but when everything you're doing is just killing time, then
Right.
your life is just, you know, killing time. And what's the point of that, you
Yeah. It's
know?
just passing by, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I just think a lot of the times just figuring out your motives for things can help you
Right.
be a lot more productive.
Yeah.
Something I
Definitely
definitely
more
need to work
productive.
on more.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, the reason why I ask you these questions is to just spark that inside you because you already know the answers. You just got to find them in you. That's the whole
Absolutely.
point of the questions. And I think again, like part of trying to achieve something is asking yourself the right questions. So it's good that you ask yourself. It's good that you check in with yourself. That look, whatever I'm doing right now, is it going to serve me? Is it going to benefit me? Is it going to benefit my goals?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So that's excellent. That's a really good start with trying to achieve those goals. So,
Thank you.
like, what motivates you? I want to ask you. Let's say when you wake up in the morning, what is the one thing that motivates you to just to get up and get on with your day and stuff?
Okay. So I'd say there's a couple answers. Right now, this very second, I
Yeah.
have, you know, I have my significant other who,
All right.
it's pretty much just the two of us. We
Yeah.
really don't, we have family, but for the most part, it's just us and our
Yeah.
three cats. And I think just, the, the life we've, started is, I really enjoy it.
Awesome.
And, I think just being able to keep it,
Yeah.
waking up having cats that I love my cats and
Yeah. Hey, I got two cats, man. I love my cats too.
yeah, yeah, so until we have kids, those are like my pride
Yeah,
and joy.
exactly. Yeah. They're like kids, man.
So
Trust me, cats are like kids, aren't they, really?
oh yeah, it's amazing their personalities. They all have very distinct
Yeah.
personalities and routines and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So
And then mini fights as well, no doubt.
yeah, we have a little kitten. She likes picking on the older ones.
Yeah. What is that all about? What is it with small kittens? And you know what I mean? It's like
They're fearless.
they
I
just don't
don't.
care, you know?
Yeah, it's cute because I have the one is she's a real big white cat, and
Yeah.
for the most part she lets the little one play with her,
Yeah.
but every now and then the little one will take it too far,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
big one will, give her a little slap, and she knows to she knows to
Yeah. Know
back
your
off.
place. Yeah. We get the same. Like, we had a kitten. He was like, just kind of found it in a garden center. They
Yeah,
didn't want them. Like they have these free kitten signs, and
yeah,
it was so small. But now he runs the house. Like, seriously, he's always
yeah,
running after the older cat. He just does not care. Seriously, he's like, this is. you know, they all have their own set places where they want to sit. And
I know.
if she's sitting there, he'll do everything to move her and sit there. It's like, it's territorial, isn't it? I don't know. It's just
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh my God.
I'll
So I don't
definitely
know.
say that in there. God,
Is there anything else you wanted to add to you know, to the podcast? Is there anything
my
else you
to finish your question you asked, I think, another motivation of mine is my, the channel and whatnot. I would like for it to be, my main source of income at some point. It's been the goal since I was 14 years old, and
right.
I'm 22 now, and
Oh,
it hasn't changed. It hasn't. I know it's what I want to do. I mean, it's been too much of a focus for me for too long to,
mm,
ever consider anything else at this point.
yeah.
Which, yeah, which it's one of the things I wanted. You know how you're saying you like to talk about things that one of your things is things that might be bothering people and whatnot in
Right,
everyday
right.
life.
Yeah.
The only thing I got for you is
Yeah.
I don't like how popular social media is becoming.
Right.
But I like that anybody can,
Yeah.
become creators.
Yeah.
It just feels like at a certain point it's going to be more normal to create content than to
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. It is.
And I don't know, I feel like there is just too much content out there right now. I
Yeah. There
feel
is.
like I, mean, I don't know. It's a two-way thing because I think it's cool that no matter what you're interested in,
Right.
there's somebody making content for it, which I think is
Right.
great. I
Yeah.
think anybody should be able to do it, but I just see people filming things that seem to be almost nothing.
Yeah. I know. And they go live. They go
Yeah,
viral, right? And I
yeah.
think
Like I
that's
see
what it is. It's
people.
just like you gotta find, just like anyone else out there. When you find that niche, and honestly, sometimes all it takes is one video, and that could set you. That's it. Because I'm sure you've heard of, you know, the Island Boy and all these
Yeah,
things that are, and it's like,
it's
okay, you gotta
garbage.
look. Let's say I look completely ridiculous. I'll put some dreads on or whatever, and I'll sit in a
Yeah,
pool, and my videos are gonna go viral. And what it is, that's what
it's
people do. They try to look for that uniqueness, you know. And just like
it's crazy.
you have some uniqueness in you. You just gotta bring it out. And when you bring it to the platform, when you start showing that, okay, this, you know, you might have seen X, Y, and Z, you know, this kind of platform out there or content, but this is different. And what is going to set you apart from everyone else is your brand, you know. And
Yeah,
obviously, Island Boy is a brand now, right?
it is.
Example,
It's crazy
people are
how it took
buying,
off.
you know, NFTs probably on that. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's so much potential, and that's what it is. When you create your brand, that's how people recognize you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do with the podcast. I'm trying to create a brand where people start to recognize what we're
It
trying to
has a
do. You
catchy
know,
name. I've no.
and
It's easy to remember. It flows off the tongue. The Muslim experience.
oh, thanks, I
It's
appreciate it.
so easy to say.
Yeah, and
And
honestly, let me say something about that, because you you are one of the first. I mean, I don't know what, you know, what your religious background is. I take it you're not a Muslim, right?
no, I
So
I grew up Roman Catholic.
okay,
I was baptized and all of that.
all right,
Just personally, I just I just took the not necessarily the non-believing path, but the
no,
I
no,
don't
it's
know
it's.
path. I'm
I
not
mean, it's
just
what I guess what your
thinking.
parents, right? What your parents follow. You followed that, or is this something that you looked into yourself? You know?
Yeah, I mean, Catholicism has always been in my family, but I strayed away from it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you
I
ever pray?
don't.
Do you ever pray? Like, whenever, let's say you're, for instance, if you're stuck on something, or you're trying to figure something out, or something, maybe something bad may have happened or whatever, do you ever pray in that sense?
See, I think I would say yes. I just think that when people hear that, they it's taken in a very specific context
Right.
of, doing
Yeah.
this type of thing.
Right.
I think you can pray in many types of ways where,
Absolutely.
you know, um, I try to meditate.
Yeah.
I often try sitting in a dark room and just not thinking and just
Yeah.
letting whatever,
Right.
because I do think a lot of times thoughts can come to you that aren't, because I sometimes have thoughts that aren't necessarily things that I think I would come up with. So I think of I don't
Awesome.
know what you call it necessarily,
Yeah.
but I definitely think that, sometimes sitting and not letting your own thoughts get in the way, sometimes there is something out there that
Yeah.
comes to, so I definitely believe in something. I just haven't discovered what it is yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So I'm not a
like for me,
non-believer.
it's the same thing. Like, I was born a Muslim, so but even though I was born a Muslim, I still find that it's important that I research other religions. So, for instance,
Absolutely.
I still have Christian friends. I still have Jewish friends. This that from different
Definitely.
backgrounds, because that's important. Like in my
Absolutely.
religion, it's important that we have that. We live uh, amongst different religions or different backgrounds. That way we come to know each other. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I feel like it's really important. So like I said, you're one of the first people that has come onto this platform, that who isn't actually a Muslim. And honestly, I'm glad
Oh,
you're here.
it's
Seriously,
an honor.
I'm glad
I,
we
I
can
really
have this
appreciate it.
conversation.
I love it. Yeah. I think I would imagine a lot because you're very well spoken, and
Oh, thank you, thank you.
of course, I think you're very knowledgeable, and I would imagine a lot of that comes from your faith.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
honestly, I try not to. I'm not a preacher or anything like that. I'm just kind of, most of the time I'm in my thoughts, and I'm just thinking to myself most of the time, what can I do to improve my life and others around me? That's my kind of one of my biggest life goals, because I believe, not just as a Muslim but as a human being, that we're not here, like, we don't exist just for ourselves. We have to serve other people. And when I say other people, I don't just mean Muslims. Other people around me, don't
yeah,
look at their color, don't look at whatever, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're human beings, and help them out, and
yeah,
they can help you, just like we're having this conversation. I hardly know you. I only know you through your YouTube channel, and we had one conversation. But this is what I'm saying. Conversations are beautiful in that sense, because they have that, beauty about them that connect us as humans. And I think that's really important. We need to do more of
absolutely.
that. So
Yeah,
again,
I
I
mean, you helped
appreciate you,
me.
man. I appreciate you coming here. It's Friday night. You could be doing anything right now, but you're here. We're having this conversation, and I
Oh,
appreciate
I'm
it.
so excited to do this. You have no idea. We were driving home. It was about 20
All
to
right.
6, and my girlfriend wanted to stop at the store, and I was like, no, we can't. We have to get home. I have to be home by 6. I have to do
Um,
this. And she was like, we'll be home by 6. If not, it'll be
God.
a couple minutes after. I was like, we have to get home by 6 o'clock. I committed to it. I told her, I was like, we have to do this.
Wow. What did she say about it? What were her thoughts?
She she didn't know if it was legitimate at first because like
Okay.
I told her about it.
Yeah.
And she was okay, what time are you gonna go sit in some kid's basement? I was like, no, no, like, I went on his Spotify. He has like over 100 of them. Like he's on a bunch of platforms. Like he's real. I scheduled it on Calendly. That's how you know it's legitimate.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. We try to be professional. We have to be, because end of the day, for us, the only reason this podcast exists is for people like you. It's, because of people like you. You bring the voice to the platform. We're just the host. That's how I see it. This platform is for you guys. And that's why we started out helping out small businesses, like small influencers or people who are thinking of going into that space. And then that way people can see that, hey, you know what? We just listened to this podcast about this guy, and how do I contact this guy? And, we'll put all the details in the description and any of the posts that we put out there. And right now we're doing it free. It doesn't cost a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and like you pay it forward, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
we should do that for each other. It's like whenever you're
definitely.
helping someone out, you kind of instill that helping persona to that person that they want to do to someone else.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell people about your podcast. I mean,
Thank you.
I
And
told
I would
my
love that you
girlfriend
could
and my
invite
friend.
people.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I hopefully plan to post this video on there, and I'll obviously give you the proper shout out and link to all
Thank
your.
you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most professional thing I've done so far with my channel. I can officially say I've done a podcast.
Yeah, awesome. Honestly, like, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know I kind of said 30, 40 minutes. I know you've got a life, so I don't want to take too much of that. But like I said, listen, I appreciate you. And once we put all the postings out, I will send you the draft. Make sure you're happy with it, and then once you're good with it, we'll get it posted on the platforms. Just a reminder, what I also do is I put it on TikTok because obviously I'm on there. And then I'll kind of use specific hashtags that way they can, they know where your videos are and stuff like that. So
I'll have to create an account by the time we get that ready.
Yeah, but honestly, I would seriously check it out first. Yeah. Obviously, have a look at it. TikTok is another kind of distraction if you let it. Like you were talking about Instagram.
Yeah.
But only, again, you got to, as long as you learn how to control it, because that decision you took, getting rid of Instagram, not a lot of people could do decision. That. So at least like what to filter out if it's going to benefit you. And the other thing is, like, you can also look at similar videos that people are posting, what hashtags they're using, how they market themselves, things like that. So again,
I think it is a good platform.
Definitely. Yeah. So anyway, take it easy. It was really nice talking to you. We should do this some other time, like we should catch up again. I'd love to talk again and, see how you're doing in maybe a few months. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that motivates me to have a lot more to talk about next time I come on. So
excellent.
Hopefully I have a lot of good things to tell you next time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we could do it. We could always do a catch up. I always tell my guests, whether it's 6 months, you want to do another one, by all means, just shoot me a message. My calendar is always there, and then we can just catch up. No worries. I'd love to have you on the show. And like I said, if there's anyone, in your area that might want to do a podcast with me, just let them know. Like we'll get them on the show by all means.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I want to stop recording now. All right. 1 second. All right.